Hi, my name is Frank Schaefer. I'm a writer and painter and grandfather of 5, father of 3. You know, if you get your girlfriend pregnant when you're 17 and 18, you wind up with grandchildren the age of other people's children. But my last 3 grandchildren, John's kids, are kind of the age that grandchildren are supposed to be. 9, 7, and 3. When I say supposed to be, I mean supposed to be for people in my age group and demographic. I'm just turned 65. I've had a weird passage in this life from an evangelical fundamentalist traditional background. Fundamentalist missionary parents, a dad who became a famous evangelical author, Francis Schaeffer, helped found the religious right. I fled that movement, made 4 movies in Hollywood as a director, forgettable, mediocre, maybe even terrible films. Became a novelist, enjoyed some success at that, have maybe a dozen or more books in print, 5 novels, and became engaged in American politics first as a right-wing shill and nepotistic sidekick to my father, and then as someone who fled the evangelical netherworld as a progressive activist who went to bat again and again for then Senator Obama, eventually President Obama, defended him as best I could from the 8-year lynching of obstruction by the Republicans, and now find myself living in America that I don't recognize. This foreign country dominated by a shyster charlatan Trump with 82% of white evangelicals, those people, my tribe that I came from, being his longest standing, most unshakable supporters. My reaction is to get involved in the politics of the moment, to fight for the Democrats to take back the House in 2018, but that is not going to solve all our problems, because our problems run deeper than Donald Trump. He would not be president if we didn't have greater problems. We have shafted, cheated, and destroyed our children. We have laid the groundwork through an entertainment culture of hyperactivity and interconnectedness in a way that means nothing eventually to people's development for him. We read a lot about mothers and wives and fathers' fulfillment and how to get a fulfilling life out of career, balancing children and career, etc. We read very little about what is actually good for children. What is good for children is love, stability, creativity, beauty. Things that we don't concentrate on in our educational system that believes in competing with the Chinese or getting ahead or starting a startup in Silicon Valley, but talks very little about spirituality and the soul and what actually matters. The close connection between a mother and child in the first 3 crucial years of development. We're all about balancing work and career, daycare centers, paying for childcare. When do we talk about what's really good for children? I've tried to do that in my project Letter to Lucy, a manifesto of creative redemption for the age of Trump, fascism, and lies. Political and hard-edged as that title sounds, what it really is the book that I wish every young parent, every young dad and mom, every grandparent, every teacher, every educator, anybody who cares about beauty in our culture would read. It's a book that is aimed at artists and musicians. It's a book that's aimed at young parents. It's a book that says, put human and spiritual values of connection first. You know, I look back on getting my girlfriend pregnant, Jeannie, we've been together almost 50 years now, as the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. Because it put me on a path to have to choose between commitment and those things in life that matter, and all the crap that corporate America, the more extreme wings of the feminist movement, the crazy, toxic masculinity of so many men today point to. You know, we've gone off the wall. Harvey Weinstein, Donald Trump, all these people on one hand are extreme, but so is the idea that somehow everything matters more than family and children and love. And I'm just sick to the teeth of it. I'm angry about it. But I channeled that into a 4.5, almost 5-year project, and then teamed up with a friend of mine, EJ, who is a brilliant designer and who took my book and turned it into a multimedia project. He worked on spec unpaid for a year, just as I did for 4 years on the book. So Letter to Lucy is our answer, EJ's answer. EJ is gay and married to his gay lover, friend, companion, who happens to be a pastor in a progressive church. And I'm straight and married and with grandchildren, and we have pooled our love of beauty to create this book. And it's not a book available in a bookstore. Right now it's only on iBooks, because the technology at iBooks is the only place that allows us to do what we wanted, and that is to bring the art and the music and the literature and the video clips and the TV and the writing into one package into your home. So I'm hoping that people who want to really do better for the next generation and rebuild this civilization from the ground up, highfalutin and idealistic as that sounds, will join me in this project and go to iBooks and get the book and download it. And by the way, give it as a gift at Christmas time, because iBooks allows us to do that. We can send it to somebody else. Why did I do this project? Well, I did it for my grandchildren, because I don't want them growing up being the only people who have been exposed to art and music and love and kindness. I want there to be millions of children who experience that, and I know there are many people who are trying, but we have to do better. Thank you. My name is Frank Schaefer.